I'll explain Psalms 1 to you. The first Psalm. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or sit in the way of the sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. What are they saying? Don't sit in the seat of sinners and mockers. Sit with the righteous. Remember I explained to you the Jezebel, how she polluted the whole fucking Israel and moved on to her seed, moved on to Judah to pollute them as well. And I told you about the righteous kings like Asa, and how some of the Jewish kings were trying to make up the northern kingdom versus the southern kingdom of Judah. Let me go on. Psalm 2. Why do nations conspire and the people plot in vain? The kings of the earth take their stand, and the rulers gather together against the Lord and against his anointed one. Let us break their chains, they say. Throw off their fetters. The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. Then he rebukes them in anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, I have installed my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will proclaim the declare of the Lord. He said to me, you are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask of me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will rule them with an iron scepter, and will clash them to pieces like pottery. Therefore your kings be wise, be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you be destroyed in your way, for his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. So, those are a couple psalms I thought were good. Let me just... I can't say all these psalms, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and skip on to Proverbs. And I'm going to talk at Proverbs of Solomon. Okay. So Proverbs 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son grieves to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures are of no value, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. Lazy hands make a man poor rather, but diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crop in summer is a wise son, but he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous will be a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. The man of integrity walks securely, but he who takes crooked paths will be found out. He who winks maliciously causes grief, and a chattering fool comes to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers all wrongs. Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but a rod for the back of him who lacks judgment. Wise men store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of the poor. The wages of the righteous bring them life, but the income of the wicked brings them punishment. He who heeds discipline shows the way to life, but whoever ignores correction leads others astray. He who conceals his hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. When words are many, sin is not absence, but he who holds his tongue is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver, but the heart of the wicked is of little value. The lips of the righteous nourish many, but fools die for lack of judgment. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no trouble to it. A fool finds pleasure in evil conduct, but a man of understanding delights in wisdom. When the wicked dreads will overtake him, what the wicked dreads will overtake him, what the righteous desire will be granted. When the storm has swept away, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. So as vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is a sluggard to those who send him. The fear of the Lord adds strength to life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The prospect of the righteous is joy, but the hopes of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a refuge for the righteous, but it is ruin of those who do evil. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is fitting, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. We'll go on to 11 and 12 and 13. And so, you know, I'm going to skip right over Proverbs because I'm going to take it all the way to the end of the Old Testament, this one. By just breezing through this. Skip over Proverbs. And next is Ecclesiastes. Oppression, toil, and friendliness, pleasure is meaningless, time for everything, toil is meaningless, wisdom, stand in awe of God, riches are meaningful, riches are meaningless, bread upon waters, wisdom better than folly, common destiny for all. And we go on to Songs of Songs. Beloved, I am a rose of Sharon, a lily of valleys, like a lily among thorns is my darling among the maidens. That's 2:1-2. So basically a bunch of psalms. One of them that was quoted is of Solomon, where it goes, one thing they always quote about the race issue is they go to Solomon 1:5. Dark am I, yet lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem, dark like the tents of Kedar, like the tent curtains of Solomon. Do not stare at me because I am dark, because I am darkened by the sun. My mother's sons were angry with me and made me take care of the vineyards. My own vineyard I neglected. Tell me, you whom I love, where you graze your flock and where you rest your sheep at midday. Why should I be like a veiled woman beside the flock of your friends? So, we go on. Isaiah talks about the year of the Lord's favor. Jeremiah, some good stuff. Coming instructions. Jeremiah's prayer. I know, Lord, that a man's life is not his own. It is not for a man to direct his steps. This is Jeremiah 10:23-25. Correct me, Lord, but only with justice, not in your anger, lest you reduce me to nothing. Pour out your wrath on the nations that I do not acknowledge you, on the peoples who do not call on your name, for they have devoured Jacob. They have devoured him completely and destroyed his homeland. Okay. He goes on to talk about the potter's house and the day of destruction. Day of disaster, rather. And, okay. After Jeremiah, we go to 2.5 minutes left. Let's get this fucking going. Okay, after Jeremiah, we go on to Ezekiel. After Lamentations, of course. Lamentations, I'm not really going to touch on it. Ezekiel's call, prophecy of the mountains of Israel, the glory departs from the temple, idolatry of the temple, the idolaters killed, end is come, etc. You know, false prophets condemned, Babylon, God's sword of judgments. I might even have read that if the time wasn't short. Then it goes on to Daniel after Ezekiel, and Daniel's training in Babylon. On the third day of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, king of Jerusalem, besieged it, and the Lord delivered Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, along with the articles from the temple of God. These he carried off to the temple in Babylonia and put in the treasure house of his God. So the Babylonians, trained Daniel. Daniel interprets the dream. Daniel goes to Arok, who was executing the wise men of Babylon. And he says, don't execute him, take me to the king. He has an image, Nebuchadnezzar's dream of a tree. Daniel interprets the dream is fulfilled. And we go on to, I got about 1 minute, 10 seconds, so Hosea, remember I was telling you about the kings and who Hosea and Amos were. Now Hosea, his wife and children, his reconciliation with his wife, charge against Israel, judgment against Israel, Israel's unrepentance, Israel's reaped a whirlwind, punishment for Israel, God's love for Israel, Israel's sin, repentant to bring blessings. Look now, go to Amos. Remember I talked about Amos 9 and Amos 9:7 about Ethiopia and are you not children? Okay, I'll read Amos 9. He who brings his lofty place in the heavens and his foundation. Rather, I'm going to start at Amos 9:5. The Lord Almighty, He touches the earth and melts it, and all who live in it mourn. The whole land rises like the Nile, then sinks like the river of Egypt. He who builds his lofty palace in the heavens and sets its foundation on earth, who calls for the waters of the sea and pours them out over the face of the land. The Lord is His name. Are you Israelites not the same to me? Are not you Israelites the same to me as the Cushites, declare the Lord? Did I not bring Israel up from Egypt, Philistines from Caphtor, the Armenians from Kir? Surely the eyes of the sovereign Lord are on sinful the sinful kingdom. I will destroy it from the face of the earth, yet I will not totally destroy the house of Jacob. For I will give the command, and I will shake the house of Israel among all the nations, as grain is shaken in the sieve, and not a pebble will reach the ground. All the sinners among my people will die by the sword, and all those who say disaster will not overtake or meet us. Okay, so Israel's restoration. That day I will restore David's fall tent. I repair the broken piece of Jerusalem and build it as it used to be, so that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the nations that bear my name. Because the Lord, who will do these things? The days are coming, declares the Lord. The reaper will be taken by the plowman, the planter by the one treading grapes. New wine will drip from the mountains and flow from all the hills. I will bring back my exiled people Israel. They will build the ruined cities and live in them. They will plant vineyards and drink their wine. They will make gardens and eat their fruit. I will plant Israel in their own land, never again to be uprooted from the land I have given them, says the Lord my God. Now we go to Obadiah. Remember Jonah? He gets swallowed by a lake. And he goes in the belly of a whale for 3 days, I believe it was. We go on to Micah, the book of Nahum, who calls Egypt. They say that the Ethiopians have a strength that's boundless. Okay, the book of Nahum. Here we go. Let me find that part for you real quick, and we'll end it. When Nineveh falls. It goes on. Okay. Nahum 3:8. Are you better than Thebes, situated on the Nile, with the water around her? The rivers were defense, the waters her wall. Cush and Egypt were her boundless strength. Put and Libya were among her allies. Yet she was taken captive, went to exile. Her infants were dashed to pieces. So it talks about Cush and Libya coming together and making Egypt, the black and white mixing together. Zephaniah, Haggai, the gold lampstand, the 2 olive trees, Zechariah, Malachi. Jacob loved, Esau hated, blemished sacrifices, and the day of the Lord. Okay. He will turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, or else I will come and strike the land with a curse. Malachi 4:5. He says, see, I will send you the prophet Elijah before that the great dreadful day of the door will come. He will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, or else I will come and strike the land with a curse. Thank you.